Hey, Dan Coachimillo here with NorCal Sports Network with a video on does Major League Baseball need a salary cap? Before we get into this topic, let us thank our sponsors of this video and of NorCal Sports Network channel. That would be Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group in California, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give them a call if you have any legal matters that you need help with. They can be reached at 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. Also, Better, B-E-T-R, at the top right-hand corner of the screen there. Better is the official daily fantasy sponsor of NorCal Sports Network. Click on the link in the description or download the app and use the promo code NCSN for a deposit match up to $250 plus a free pick. That's awesome. All right, guys, does baseball need a salary cap? Well, a lot of people are talking about it right now because of the situation with the spending of the LA Dodgers and the Yankees. But, I look at it completely different. I don't think it's going to work, number one, a salary cap. And I'll tell you why, because the players union is the strongest players union in all of sports. And I don't think they're going to agree with it. And if you're going to have a salary cap, you got to have a floor. And the owners are not going to go for that. So now you've got, both owners and players fighting against it. But what you really need is a strong commissioner. And a strong commissioner can actually negotiate and bring forth a salary cap and floor. And what you have to do to get this done is you really have to kind of look at model systems like the NBA and the NFL, which have had successful salary cap systems. Not such a hard cap. The NBA has gone more to a hard cap with their new collective bargaining agreement, but it's worked. It's brought parity. It's brought more excitement to other fan bases. You pretty much have several teams in the running. Now, you could look at some other options that you can do when you're talking about a salary cap and a floor. What you have to do, you have to negotiate with the players' unions, the team owners, and league officials. You're going to have to implement that probably gradually, phase out the prohibitive salary figures over a few years. You'll have to design for flexibility when you're doing something like that by building flexibility in the system so teams can deal with constraints, and you got to be transparent in all of it. So, and what's the reason behind a salary cap and a floor? Again, you got to have a floor if you're going to have a cap. So what's the reason for the floor is to get smaller market teams like the A's and Pittsburgh, some of those teams to spend money. Some of these teams, Tampa Bay, they have payrolls under 100 million. And other teams have payrolls over 300 million. Huge disparity. So the reason for promoting a cap and a floor is to promote parity. The salary cap would help smaller market teams compete with wealthier franchises. It would also increase fan interest. I think a salary cap would help maintain fan interest across all the markets, not just the major markets. And it would prevent teams from buying championships. But on the other hand, you got to look at it this way. Teams like the Yankees and Dodgers have been spending at the top of baseball since really forever. But let's just take it from the last 15 years, 2010. Okay, take 2010 through 2024, 15 seasons. And how many World Series did the Dodgers win? The big spenders. They won one, okay? One full season, okay? You got the 2020. Some people say, yeah, that's legit. Others disagree, including myself. I don't think a 60-game season got anybody excited with no fans, cardboard cutouts. That was ridiculous. So that was just whatever. So the Dodgers have one full season championship. The Yankees have none. The Yankees' last World Series championship was 2009. Okay. Giants have 3. I'm trying to think. Chicago got one in 16. The Royals, a small market team, they got one in 2015, and they were in the World Series in 14. So 2 consecutive years. St. Louis got one in there, 1 or 2, I think. Boston's had a couple. Houston's had a few. Who am I missing? Atlanta. I'm just trying to think. 2010 was I'm doing all this by memory, guys. I'm not looking at anything. Giants, 10. 11 was the Cardinals. 12 was the Giants. 13, I believe, was Boston. 14, Giants. 15 was the Royals. I think they beat the Mets. 16 was the Cubs. 17 was the Astros over the Dodgers. 18, Red Sox over the Dodgers. 19, Washington Nationals. They won. 2020, we know about that. 21 was the Braves. 22 was, who was 22? I don't know. Was that the Astros or was, let's see. I'm drawing a blank here. Yeah, 22 was the Astros. 23, that was Dusty Baker. And 23 was Bruce Bochy and the Rangers. And then 24 last season was the Dodgers. So in that aspect, you've got some variety there. The Giants, my team, have won the most World Series in the last 15 years. And some say that the owners are content with that, and that's why they stopped trying to put a competitive team out there. They're not even spending the money that some of these other teams are spending, and they certainly haven't developed anything. So we'll see. But if you ask me, when it comes to a salary cap and a floor, I think it would be really good for baseball if they did it, because it would make it more balanced. But you also have teams like the Arizona Diamondbacks in 23 who got to the World Series with 84 wins. Anything can happen, more so in baseball, I believe, than any other sport. Football, a little tougher to get a team that didn't have a great regular season that sneaks into the playoffs to get all the way to the Super Bowl. Same with the NBA. I mean, you don't see too often 6, 7, 8 seeds make it to the finals. It happens. I think Miami did it recently, but they didn't win the championship, but they were a 7 or 8 seed, got to the finals. But it doesn't happen that often. Usually it's the better teams. But in baseball, it's rarely the best regular season team that wins the World Series. So, and I think a lot of people are trying to, bring this up because they say it's not fair. The Dodgers are spending all this money. Well, here's my take. All right. My take is simply this. I don't feel sorry for any of the owners who aren't spending money. They're all billionaires. They're all making tons of money. Look at the revenue they're bringing in. What baseball needs to do a better job of is having a strong commissioner that pushes owners to spend money and find owners that will actually put money into the franchises. And fans, you probably ought to boycott your team like the A's did with, that situation where their owner obviously wasn't trying at all, was not paying, and stop showing up and see if get your owners to take it serious. I think you need a strong commissioner. I think Rob Manfred is probably the worst commissioner in the history of any sport that I can recall. He's horrible. He doesn't do anything to really promote the game in a positive way. A lot of his ideas are harebrained ideas. So I think get a strong commissioner, get somebody that will push these owners to spend. And you know what? Make the owners that aren't spending, if they don't want to spend, sell their teams. Now, here's the other side to this, guys. If you have a floor, you could force teams that don't even have any stars, that are trying to rebuild, that are trying to play their young kids to develop them and bring them up, and you're trying to push them to spend money when they don't have any real stars because they're playing all of their prospects. And so there's a lot to go through all this. I think the simple answer is teams just need to spend more and get owners. And I think if you can get the commissioner to get strong with that, that would be great. But let me know your thoughts. I don't know if a salary cap and a floor will work. The collective bargaining agreement ends December 1st, 2026. So we got this upcoming season, 25, and next year, 26, before a new CBA has to be negotiated. I don't know. There's definitely things that are going to change. Like, I think deferring money is going to be a big thing. I don't think you're going to be able to defer as much, if at all, the way the Dodgers have been doing it. That's one thing I think that could be a sticking point in the next CBA. Will we have a work stoppage coming up in 2 years? Let's hope not. The game can't afford to do that. You just can't afford to have another work stoppage like you had in 94, carried over into the 95 season. No World Series in 94. First time that's ever happened in my lifetime. The 95 season got started late. So let's get this thing hammered out and let's see what happens. But I want to see owners spend more, because I don't feel sorry for any of the owners. I don't blame the Dodgers doing what they're doing. They're staying within the confines of the rules. And frankly, if your team was to spend like the Dodgers and go out and get the best players possible, you'd be thrilled. So I don't want to hear this crap that the Dodgers, I can't stand the Dodgers, okay? I'm a Giants fan. I grew up in the Bay Area. But you know what? Get better, other teams. Just get better. They're running circles around people because they're committed to winning. You ought to be committed to winning. And I'm talking to specifically my team, Greg Johnson, the San Francisco Giants. Go out and sign some guys. There's guys sitting out there. Stop trying to, keep all the money for yourself. You got plenty of money. Your franchise is worth like 4 or 5 billion with a B, and you got loads of money coming in for the next umpteen years with your Mission Rock project. So, and all the other teams too out there, go spend money. Stop whining, complaining. Go get some players and try and make your team a winning team. All right. Tell me what you think in the comments below, guys. We read them. We try to respond to as many as possible. Thanks for watching this video. Really do appreciate it. By the way, if you would give it a like and subscribe, that would really, really help the channel grow. It does mean a lot to us. So please like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we will catch you on the next video. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have a great day.